One thing I saw that was rather interesting that if you love grouper, like I know a lot of people in South Florida do, I did not realize how much of it is actually fake. It's not even legit grouper.
It is kind of crazy what they are doing. I've seen expose videos on TikTok about what they're doing with the fish to fake the funk. And I don't think it's just grouper. I've seen videos about them doing it to salmon too. To make it look like it's, farm fresh salmon, but it's not. They add food coloring, they add dyes, they add all kind of stuff to make it pass for salmon, and it's scary. You can't trust.
Well, it's one of those foods that, to me, if somebody was coming into Florida, I'd be like, oh, you got to go someplace and get great grouper because it's, for the most part, it's kind of our fish. And if you're especially, right on the coast, it's a great thing to get.
Florida fish, grouper, dolphin, hog snapper. Those would be my top 3 favorites. And one of my favorite dishes of all time, Johnny Longboats, grouper in a bag. I love it. They put it in a little bag and it's seasoned.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's such a fun dish. I would be heartbroken if I found out that any grouper that I got wasn't really grouper.
Now, this video was backed up by some articles that I did check, and apparently a lot of the grouper that you're getting in Florida is actually not grouper.
Grouper is one of the most popular fish on menus in Florida. People love it because it's fresh, flaky, and mild, plus it's local. It's a kind of fish that shows up in sandwiches, tacos, and grilled entrees across the state, especially in beach towns. But here's the problem. A lot of the time, it's not real grouper at all. Restaurants across Florida have been caught selling fake grouper, and this isn't just some random mistake. It's been going on for years. Back in 2006 and 2007, the Florida Attorney General's office tested 24 restaurants in Tampa Bay. Out of those, 17 were busted for mislabeling. That's over 70%. They were serving up fish like tilapia or swai, which is an Asian catfish, and calling it grouper. In a later study done by Oceana in 2012, they found 31% of seafood in South Florida was mislabeled, and grouper was one of the worst offenders. A 2024 report said seafood fraud is still going strong, especially with high-demand fish like grouper. But this isn't just a Florida problem. Estimates from that same year show that around 20% of all grouper sold in the U.S. is mislabeled.
That's crazy.
They had the They had the same problem in Louisiana at a Louisiana shrimp festival, which all the shrimp were supposed to be Gulf shrimp. They found that they were using Chinese shrimp, and they can test them. They can test these fish. They can test these shrimp.
DNA samples now. They said the same thing. In fact, I'm only focusing on the grouper, but this same video went into the shrimp thing, and they said the same deal is, they may say you're getting Gulf shrimp. Probably not getting Gulf shrimp.
Wow.
Probably from Thailand or something like that. And they said it does matter because of how they raise that shrimp. And a lot of it's in murky water, and they feed all kinds of stuff to it that you wouldn't want.
Murky and mercury.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the problem with some of these fishes they replace the grouper with. One of them especially is very heavy in mercury. Which is what you might be getting if you think you're getting grouper.
Real grouper costs restaurants $8 to $14 a pound wholesale. And that's before they cook or plate it. Tilapia or swai costs about half that.
So they're saving money, and they said some of the things that you can do, look at the size. They said grouper a lot of times is different sizes. And so if every grouper looks exactly the same, it's the exact same size, that's likely not grouper.
Wow.
And they said a lot of these restaurants, if you notice that they've put a lot of sauces in it or there's a lot of things to jazz it up, they're probably doing that because it's not actual grouper.
Wow.
Because real grouper should taste clean, not be fishy. It should have a certain texture to it.
It doesn't need all that extra love.
Yeah. So they say, you can get a grouper taco, for instance, or what you think is a grouper taco, and they put a bunch of sauces on it and all that stuff, and then they gunk it all up, and you have no idea.
And lastly, ask where it's from. The best restaurants are proud of their seafood. They'll tell you what kind of grouper it is, red, black, or gag, and where it came from. They'll list the region, like Gulf caught or Florida wild. If a place avoids those details or gets defensive when you ask, that's your sign to skip it.
That is a good tip.
Yeah.
I hope those shady servers aren't listening right now.
Yeah, they're going to make something up.
They're going to get a crafty answer ready. Oh, Kevin said.
Yeah, we're solving a few problems. We're probably creating more than we actually are helping. So, welcome to the KBJ Show.